Commander Lee Kyung walked slowly through the quiet hallways of the space station New Seoul. His heavy boots made soft sounds on the metal floor. The lights were dim, and most of the crew had gone to sleep hours ago. But Lee Kyung could not sleep. Not tonight. He stopped at a large window that looked out into space. Stars filled the dark sky like tiny diamonds. But 17 of those stars no longer had human homes around them. 17 colonies were gone, dead, silent. Lee Kyung touched the cold glass with his hand. 3 days ago, he had spoken with his old friend Kim Jun on Busan Colony. They had talked about Kim's new baby daughter. They had laughed about old times when they were young soldiers together. Now Kim was dead. His baby daughter was dead. Everyone on Busan Colony was dead. The door behind him opened with a soft sound. Lieutenant Park Mina walked in. She was young, maybe 25 years old. Her black hair was pulled back in a tight ponytail. Her eyes looked tired. "Sir, we have another message coming in," she said quietly. Lee Kyung did not turn around. "Which colony?" "Jeju Station, sir. That was the 18th colony to go silent." Lee Kyung closed his eyes for a moment. Jeju Station had 50,000 people. Families, children, old people. All gone now. "Put it on the main screen," he said. They walked together to the command center. The room was dark except for the blue glow of computer screens. A few night shift workers sat at their stations. They all looked up when Lee Kyung entered. The main screen came to life. It showed a woman with short gray hair and a bloody face. Behind her, buildings were burning. The sky was red with fire and smoke. "This is Administrator Song Yoo-jin of Jeju Station," the woman said. Her voice was calm, but her hand shook. "We are under attack by alien ships. 4 different types. They call themselves the hegemony." A loud explosion made the screen shake. Song Yoo-jin looked over her shoulder, then back at the camera. "They are not trying to capture us. They are trying to kill us all. They want to make an example of us. They want other humans to see what happens when you fight them." Another explosion. This one was closer. Pieces of the ceiling fell down behind Song Yoo-jin. "They think this will make humans afraid. They think we will give up after we see our people die." Song Yoo-jin smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "They do not understand humans very well." The screen went black. The command center was very quiet. Lee Kyung looked around at his crew. They were all young. Most of them had never been in a real war. But their faces were not afraid. They were angry. "Sir," Park Mina said. "What are your orders?" Lee Kyung walked to the big map that showed all the human colonies. Red dots marked the dead ones. 18 red dots in 3 days. But there were still over 200 green dots. 200 human worlds that were still alive. "Get me Admiral Choi on Mars," Lee Kyung said. "Tell him the aliens have made their first big mistake." "What mistake, sir?" asked Sergeant Nam Ki-bum from his station. Lee Kyung looked at the 18 red dots on the map. Each dot had been a world full of people. People with families and dreams and hopes for the future. People who had trusted their leaders to keep them safe. "They think humans become weak when we lose people we love," Lee Kyung said. His voice was quiet, but everyone in the room could hear him clearly. "They think we will cry and give up and ask them to stop hurting us." He turned to face his crew. Their young faces looked back at him in the blue light of the screens. "But they do not know how humans really work. When bad people hurt our families, we do not become weak. We become dangerous. When someone kills our children, we do not cry and hide. We become something they should be afraid of." Park Mina stepped forward. "Sir, what do we do now?" Lee Kyung looked back at the map. 18 dead worlds. Millions of dead humans. People who would never see another sunrise or hold their children or laugh with their friends. "Now we show them what human anger looks like," he said. "We show them what happens when you kill people we love. They wanted to break our spirit by murdering our families." He walked to his command chair and sat down. The leather was old and worn from years of use. Instead, they just gave us a reason to destroy them completely. They thought we would mourn by crying and begging. They are going to learn that humans mourn in a very different way. The communications officer looked up from his station. Sir, I have Admiral Choi on the line. Good, Lee Kyung said. Tell him to gather all the fleet commanders. Tell him the hegemony just declared war on the wrong species. Outside the window, the stars continued to shine in the darkness. But now, they looked different to Lee Kyung. Now they looked like targets. Admiral Choi Sung-ho stood in the big underground room on the moon. The room was round like a circle with a large table in the middle. Around the table, blue lights showed the faces of people from all the human worlds that were still alive. They looked serious and angry. Admiral Choi was 60 years old. His hair was gray and his face had many lines from years of worry. But his eyes were sharp and clear. He had fought in 3 wars before this one. He knew what war really meant, the aliens killed our people on purpose, he said to the faces around the table. They did not want our planets or our things. They wanted to make us afraid. General Han So-young was sitting to his right. She was the leader of all the human soldiers who protected the colonies. Her uniform was clean and neat, but her hands were dirty from working on weapons all day. We studied how they attacked us, she said. They always killed the children first, then the old people, then everyone else. They wanted the parents to watch their children die. A man named Director Yoon Tae-min leaned forward. He was thin and wore glasses. His job was to spy on enemies and learn their secrets. We listened to their radio messages, he said. They are confused. They thought we would call them and say we give up. They thought we would beg them to stop killing us. Admiral Choi touched a button on the table. The room filled with pictures of alien ships. They were big and ugly, with strange shapes and colors. These are the 4 types of aliens who attacked us, he said. They call themselves the hegemony. They have been together for 300 years. They have destroyed many other worlds. Captain Seo Jin-woo stood up. He was a small man with quick eyes. His job was to lead secret missions behind enemy lines. Sir, my teams are ready to go, he said. We have been waiting for your orders. Admiral Choi nodded. Good. But first I want everyone to understand something important. He pressed another button. The pictures changed to show the 18 dead human worlds. Each world was now just a ball of rock and ash. The aliens think they understand humans, Admiral Choi said. They think when we lose people we love, we become weak and sad. They think we will hide and cry. General Han So-young stood up. But they are wrong. Yes, Admiral Choi said. They are very wrong. They do not know that humans have 2 ways to deal with sadness. Some people cry and hide, but some people get angry and fight back. He walked around the table, looking at each face on the screens. The aliens killed our families, they killed our children. They thought this would make us weak. But it did not make us weak. It made us something much more dangerous. Director Yoon Tae-min pushed his glasses up his nose. Sir, what do you mean? I mean they turned us into people who have nothing left to lose, Admiral Choi said. When you have nothing left to lose, you become very dangerous. You stop caring about rules. You stop caring about being nice. You only care about one thing. What thing, sir? Asked Captain Seo Jin-woo. Admiral Choi stopped walking. His face was hard like stone. Making sure the people who hurt your family never hurt anyone else again. The room was quiet for a long moment. Then General Han So-young spoke. Sir, we have been preparing for 6 weeks. All our ships are ready. All our soldiers are ready. All our weapons are ready. And my spy teams have learned where the aliens keep their supplies, Director Yoon Tae-min added. We know where their important buildings are. We know how they talk to each other. Captain Seo Jin-woo smiled, but it was not a happy smile. And my special soldiers are ready to visit them in the dark. Admiral Choi sat down in his chair. He looked tired, but his voice was strong. The aliens gave us 6 weeks to think about what they did to us. They thought we would use that time to cry and be sad. They thought we would use that time to decide to give up. He pressed a button and the pictures changed again. Now they showed human ships, hundreds of them, big ones and small ones, fast ones and strong ones, all ready to fight. But we used that. Time for something else. We used it to get ready for war. We used it to plan how to make them pay for what they did. General Han So-young leaned forward. Sir, are we going to attack their worlds like they attacked ours? Admiral Choi shook his head. No, we are not going to be like them. We are not going to kill innocent people. Then what are we going to do? Asked Director Yoon Tae-min. Admiral Choi stood up again. His voice was quiet, but everyone could hear the anger in it. We are going to hunt them. We are going to find every alien soldier who killed our people. We are going to find every alien leader who gave the orders. We are going to find every alien ship that attacked our worlds. He looked around the room at all the faces, and then we are going to show them what human justice looks like. They wanted to teach us about fear. Now we are going to teach them. Captain Oh Min-ki floated in his chair on the bridge of his ship, Silent Vengeance. The ship was small and black, built to hide in the darkness of space. For 3 days, they had been watching the alien supply station near the star Rigel. The station was huge, like a metal city floating in space. Hundreds of alien ships came and went every day, bringing food and weapons and fuel to the hegemony armies. The aliens felt safe there. They had never been attacked before. They thought humans were too weak and too sad to fight back. Captain, said Lieutenant Commander Jang Hai-wan from her seat next to him, the station's shields are down. They are loading supplies right now. Captain O looked at the screen showing the alien station. He could see small ships moving around it like busy insects. Each ship carried things the alien armies needed to kill more humans. How many people work on that station? He asked. About 10,000 aliens, sir. Most of them are workers, not soldiers. Captain O nodded slowly. His wife and 2 sons had lived on New Sol Colony. When the aliens attacked, his family had tried to hide in their basement. The aliens found them anyway. They killed his boys. First, then his wife. They made sure Captain O saw the pictures. Sir, are we going to attack? Asked Ensign Park Da-young from the weapons station. She was only 22 years old. Her parents had died on Busan Colony. Yes, Captain O said. But we are not going to kill the workers. We are going to send them a message. He pressed a button on his chair. All stations, this is the captain. Begin attack run. Target only the communications array and the power systems. No civilian areas. The Silent Vengeance moved forward like a shadow. The alien station grew larger on the screen. Captain O could see alien workers moving around outside in their spacesuits, fixing things and moving boxes. Weapons ready, sir, Park Da-young said. Fire! Blue beams of energy shot out from the ship. They hit the tall tower on top of the station. The tower exploded in a ball of fire. Then more beams hit the power generators. The lights on the station went out section by section. Communications down, sir, reported Jang Hai-wan. Power down. The station cannot call for help or fight back. Captain O opened a channel to broadcast to the station. He spoke in the alien language that all the hegemony species understood. Attention alien workers. This is Captain Oh Min-ki of the Human Defense Force. We are not here to kill you. We are here to deliver a message. On the screen he could see alien workers floating in space, confused and scared. Your leaders killed our families, they killed our children. They thought this would make us weak. They were wrong. Captain O pressed another button. Information began broadcasting on all frequencies. The names of every human who had died on the 18 colonies. Millions of names. Men, women, children, all dead. These are the people your hegemony murdered. We want you to remember these names. We want you to tell your leaders that we remember them too. The list of names kept playing. It would take hours to finish. Tell your leaders that humans do not forget. Tell them that we are coming. Tell them that we will find everyone who was part of killing our people. Captain O ended the broadcast. Take us out of here. Jump to the next target. 3 star systems away, Major Lee Da-eun was walking through the hallways of an alien research station. Her Marines followed behind her, their weapons ready. The station was small, with only a few hundred alien scientists. The aliens had been studying humans, trying to understand why they did not give up after their colonies were destroyed. They had files full of information about human psychology and behavior. Major, we found their main computer, called Sergeant Kim Tae-ho from down the hall. Major Lee Da-yun walked into the computer room. The walls were covered with screens showing pictures of human families, pictures of the dead colonies, pictures of human children crying. They were trying to figure out how to make us more afraid, she said. Her voice was angry. They wanted to know the best ways to make humans suffer. She walked to the main computer and began copying all the files. Everything the aliens knew about human military positions, human psychology, human weaknesses. It would all be useful. Major, said Private Yoon Soo-jin, what should we do with the alien scientists? Major Lee Da-eun looked through the window at the alien scientists. They were tall and thin, with gray skin and big eyes. They looked scared. Lock them in their meeting room. Do not hurt them, but make sure they cannot send any messages. She finished copying the files and stood up. Leave them this message. Tell your hegemony that humans learn from their enemies. Tell them that everything you learned about us, we now know about you. In the asteroid field near Vega, Commander Nam Gi-seok led his fighter wing through the Yae, floating rocks. His ships were small and fast, built for hit-and-run attacks. Contact ahead, called his wingman, Lieutenant Shin Bo-ra. 12 alien patrol ships hiding behind the big asteroid. The aliens thought they were clever, hiding in the asteroid field where human ships could not find them. But human technology was better than they expected. Attack pattern Delta, Commander Nam ordered. Fast and quiet. The human fighters moved through the asteroids like deadly fish. The aliens never saw them coming. In 5 minutes, all 12 alien ships were destroyed. As his wing prepared to leave, Commander Nam broadcast one final message. You killed our families thinking it would break us. Instead, you gave us a reason to become better at killing than you are. The Hegemony High Council chamber was not a peaceful place anymore. The 4 alien leaders sat around a large crystal table, but they were not sitting calmly. They were arguing loudly, pointing fingers at each other, and making angry sounds. Supreme Castellan Morvek was the leader of the Veltar people. He looked like a large lizard that walked on 2 legs. His green skin was covered in scales and his yellow eyes were full of anger. He slammed his clawed hand on the table. This is not working, he hissed. The humans are destroying our supply lines faster than we can protect them. 23 convoys destroyed in just 1 week. War Prime Kexthul was the leader of the Hegmon warriors. He was big and strong with thick armor covering his gray skin. His people were famous for being the best fighters in the galaxy, but now he looked worried. These humans do not fight like normal enemies, he said in his deep voice. They do not attack our strong positions. They attack our weak spots. They are like ghosts, here 1 minute, gone the next. Hive Mother Zillaneth was the leader of the Yae, Shilnari. She looked like a giant insect with many arms and compound eyes that could see in all directions. Her people were very smart and good at planning, but even her smart plans were not working against the humans. I have studied their attack patterns, she said. Her voice sounded like many voices speaking at once. They are not just trying to win battles. They are trying to make us afraid of each other. Fleet Commander Velkaris was the leader of the Zephyrian Space Fleet. His people looked like tall, thin crystals that could change color. Right now, he was glowing red with anger. Your intelligence was wrong, Morvek, he said, his crystal body flashing bright red. You said the humans would have only 50 ships at Kepler Station. There were 200. My fleet almost got destroyed. My spies gave me the best information they had, Morvek shot back. Your ship should have been more careful. More careful. Velkari stood up, his body now glowing orange with rage. Your information got 30 of my best ships destroyed. My people are starting to think you want us to fail. War Prime Kexthul hit the table with his big fist. Stop fighting. This is exactly what the humans want. But the other leaders were too angry to listen. Morvek turned to face Kexthul. Easy for you to say. Your ground forces are safe on planets. My supply ships are getting picked off one by one in open space. Because you are not protecting them well enough, Kexthul replied. My warriors could guard your convoys, but you never ask for help. I do not trust your warriors, Morvek hissed. Last time I asked for help, half your soldiers ran away when the humans attacked. Kexthul stood up, his armor making loud, clanking sounds. My warriors, do not run away. They made a tactical retreat when your intelligence failed again. Hive Mother Zillaneth watched the argument with all her eyes. She was the smartest of the four leaders, and she could see what was happening. Stop, she said, her many-voiced words cutting through the noise. Can you not see what they are doing to us? The other three leaders looked at her. The humans are not just attacking our ships and bases, she continued. They are attacking our trust in each other. Every time they hit us, they make us blame each other. She activated a holographic display showing human attack patterns over the past month. Look at this carefully. When they attack Veltar supply ships, they always make sure Hegemon escorts are nearby but not close enough to help. When they attack Chilnari research stations, they do it when Zephyrian patrol ships are supposed to be protecting the area. Fleet Commander Valkaris looked at the display, his crystal body slowly changing from red to yellow as he thought. You think they are doing this on purpose? I know they are, Hive Mother Zillaneth said. Every attack is designed to make us blame each other. They want us to stop working together. War Prime Kexthul sat down heavily. But why? If they just wanted to hurt us, they could attack our home worlds directly. Because they are smarter than we thought, Morvek said quietly. His anger was starting to turn into fear. We thought they would be easy to beat, because they were sad about their dead colonies. Hive Mother Zillaneth nodded with her insect head. But instead of becoming weak from sadness, they became something else, something more dangerous. What do you mean? Asked Velkaris. I mean they became people who have nothing left to lose, she said. When you have nothing left to lose, you can take risks that normal people would never take. The chamber became quiet. The four leaders looked at each other, and for the first time they saw fear in each other's eyes. So what do we do now? War Prime Kexthul asked. Hive Mother Zillaneth looked at the display showing all the human attacks. Each attack was marked with a red dot. There were hundreds of red dots now. I do not know, she said. How do you fight an enemy that grows stronger every time you hurt them? How do you defeat people who are not afraid to die? Outside the chamber, reports kept coming in. Another supply convoy destroyed, another base attacked. Another message from the humans, listing the names of their dead and promising that justice was coming. The hegemony was starting to understand that they had made a terrible mistake. They had thought they were fighting a war against a weak enemy. Instead, they had created their own worst nightmare. The fortress world of Kethmaran had been the strongest place in the galaxy for 1,000 years. It was a planet covered in metal walls and giant weapons. Every mountain had been turned into a fortress. Every valley had been filled with defense systems. No enemy had ever broken through its shields. But today, the shields were failing. Admiral Choi Sung-ho stood on the bridge of his battleship New Busan. Through the big window, he could see the planet below. Explosions of light covered its surface like deadly fireworks. Human ships filled the space around the planet. Hundreds of them, all firing their weapons at the same time. Sir, the planet's main shield is down to 30%. Reported Captain Lim Hyun-soo from his station. Their weapons are still working, but not for long. Admiral Choi nodded. He was tired. This war had lasted for 8 months. 8 months of hunting down every hegemony base, every supply ship, every military outpost. The aliens had tried to run, but humans had followed them everywhere. Any word from the other fleets? Admiral Choi asked. Yes, sir. Admiral Park reports that the Zephyrian home fleet surrendered 2 hours ago. Admiral Kim says the Hegemon ground forces are asking for mercy. Admiral Choi looked out at the planet again. This was the last place the hegemony leaders could hide. After this, the war would be over. Sir, we are getting a message from the planet, Captain Lim said. They want to talk about surrender terms. No, Admiral Choi said simply. Captain Lim looked confused. Sir? No surrender terms, no negotiations, no mercy. Admiral Choi's voice was cold. They made their choice when they killed our children. On the planet's surface, Major Park Min-ho led his soldiers through the burning streets of the capital city. The buildings were tall and made of black metal. Alien soldiers ran past them trying to escape, but there was nowhere to go. Major, "We found the government building," called Sergeant Lee Dong-wook over the radio. "The hegemony leaders are inside." "Good," Major Park replied. "Surround it. Do not let anyone escape." He walked through the streets with his rifle ready. Around him, the city was falling apart. The aliens had built their capital to look strong and frightening, but now it just looked broken. Inside the government building, the 4 hegemony leaders sat in their emergency meeting room. Supreme Castellan Morvek was shaking. His scales had turned from green to gray with fear. War Prime Kexthul sat with his head in his hands. Hive Mother Zillaneth's many eyes looked in all directions, but she could not see any way out. Fleet Commander Velkaris had stopped glowing completely. His crystal body was now clear and colorless. "We have to do something," Morvek said. His voice was weak and scared. "The humans will be here soon." "What can we do?" Kexthul asked. "Our armies are destroyed. Our fleets are gone. Our worlds are burning." Hive Mother Zillaneth moved to the communication console with her many arms. "There is one thing we can do. We can warn the rest of the galaxy about what we learned." She activated the emergency broadcast system. This would send a message to every world in the galaxy, all the neutral planets, all the trading stations, everyone who might think about fighting humans someday. "This is Supreme Castellan Morvek of the hegemony," he said into the camera. His voice was shaking, but he knew this message was important. We were the rulers of 4 species. We controlled 300 worlds. We had the strongest armies in the galaxy." Explosions could be heard outside the building. Human soldiers were getting closer. 8 months ago, we attacked the human colonies. We killed millions of their people. We killed their children and their families. We did this because we thought it would make them weak and afraid. War Prime Kexthul looked up. "We thought humans were like other species. We thought they would cry and give up when they saw their people die." Fleet Commander Velkaris began to glow a faint blue, the color of sadness for his people. "We were wrong. Humans do not become weak when you hurt them. They become something much more dangerous." The building shook as another explosion hit nearby. Dust fell from the ceiling. "Humans do not mourn by crying and hiding," Morvek continued. "They mourn by making sure that the people who hurt them never hurt anyone else again." Hive Mother Zillaneth looked at the camera with all her eyes. "We thought we were starting a war. But we were not starting a war. We were signing our own death." Sentence. The door to the room exploded inward. Major Park Minho stepped through the smoke with his soldiers behind him. The 4 alien leaders looked at him with fear. "They are not conquerors," Morvek said into the camera, still broadcasting. "They are not here to take our worlds or rule our people. They are here for one reason only, to end us." Major Park raised his rifle, but he did not shoot. He just stood there waiting. "Let this message reach every corner of the galaxy," Morvek said. "When you kill humans, you do not create enemies. You create something far worse. You create humans who have nothing left to lose." The transmission continued for a few more seconds, then went dead. Outside, the last hegemony fortress fell silent. The war was over. The humans had won, but it was not the kind of victory that brought joy. It was the kind of victory that brought justice. Admiral Choi looked out at the quiet planet and thought about his dead colonies. 18 worlds. Millions of people. They had their justice now. The galaxy would remember this day. They would remember that humans were not a species to be tested. Retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.